Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be walking around the neighborhood of Garcia Gineres, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about medical care and things like that, the cost of medical care out here in Mexico. In particular, remember, we're out here in Merida Yucatan in Mexico, but a lot of the things that I talk about can pertain to a lot of things. So that's like the nice fancy building I just came from, the doctor's office there. Just a home, some lady selling brooms, a very nice building. So you guys already know how we do. We take a walk around the neighborhood, we do a little talking, and that's that. So, and I get to show you around. So I'm gonna show you guys on the map in a second, as soon as I get to the following street, or we get closer there. In fact, I'll show you right now. So as you guys can see, we're like in the neighborhood of Garcia Gineres. All right, so we're gonna be walking down calle 23 and basically taking it all the way down until we get to the Walmart on Paseo Montejo, because I gotta pick up some coffee. And so that's what we're gonna be doing. So as you guys can see on the map, right there on the map, there's two streets that are parallel to calle 23, which is street 23, and that's street 25, calle 25, and Avenida Colon. Now both of those are very heavily trafficked, and they're more like avenues, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I decided to go down and take this street, as you guys can see right there. All right, so we're right now on 23 and 28, and we're just gonna take a walk down. Now, as you guys know, I don't always, give you that whole location vibe situation there, but I try to when I can. All right, so I could there, so we're gonna do it there. So we're gonna be walking down this street, all right, calle 23. So we're gonna be talking about medical costs. All right, I know I just spent like 2 minutes talking about the location and stuff, but you guys probably just clicked on this to because you guys care more about the medical cost and all this. And I remember you guys have been asking me to cover the whole medical cost thing for a while now, since I've had this channel. But the reality is that it's a little hard for me. It was a little hard for me, well, because I really didn't have any medical problems, or medical issues for me to take care of. So, by the way, I've never walked down this street in particular, even been down the street. This is also why I'm coming down this street. I've come down the other two streets that are parallel to this many times, but never down this one, so we're enjoying it together. So, but yeah, Garcia Gineres, just a little on background on the neighborhood here in the city that we're in, which is Merida. This used to be a little more affluent neighborhood back in the day, before they started building the north and the other fancier parts of the city. And now those are the fancy and amazing parts there. Fancy Nancy, that's what I meant to say, not Nancy. Anyways, geez, I can't speak right today. Oh well, at least it's for your comedic enjoyment. So as I was saying, this used to be a nicer affluent neighborhood back in the day, and now it still is, but it's just the older, affluent neighborhood. So like in Miami, like Miami would be like Coral Gables or something like that, like one of the older neighborhoods that are really nice and fancy. Same here, so this is it. But going to medical costs, like, so I never really had to go into the whole medical thing, because I never really had any reason to visit the doctor. But as time has gone on and I've gotten a little older, and other things have gone wrong with me, just wear and tear, just typical wear and tear, I've had to go to the doctor. And some things, like, for example, by the way, so a lot of these buildings are also businesses, as you guys can see, they're intermingled. Some are homes, some are businesses, so it's a random. So anyways, but back to like the whole thing. You guys have already seen that I've had some health issues, nothing crazy, nothing major, but I've been dealing with them. And I said that I would be updating you guys on it, and at the same time you guys would be learning from it, same as me. And in my situation, I don't have insurance, I don't have anything like that, I know a lot of you guys ask me about all that, but I'll cover that once we get to that, once I get that, and once I learn more about that, and then maybe interview some people that know more about that. But the reality is, I'm just like paying out of pocket. So I'm giving you the prices of out of pocket, which is something that a lot of you guys are probably going to be dealing with, you know, for the most part. And so again, let me just give you some quick prices on things. You guys already saw a video when I went to the dentist, and I showed you guys that. The whole dentist experience, again, 20 bucks, 20 bucks, aka 400 pesos. That's it. Now listen, there's gonna be a lot of dentists out here, and some of them are gonna see a gringo walking in and they're gonna be charging you maybe 500 pesos, maybe even 1,000 pesos. But regardless, you're paying anywhere from $20 all the way to $50 for a visit to the dentist. All right, I don't know what it is in the US, but I think it's a little bit more than that. And this is the dentist. So, you know, for example, I just came from, you're probably wondering where I came from. Well, I had to get a colonoscopy. Yeah, that's right. Because I'm a fat, well, I used to be a fat person, very fat, you know, nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I decided a long time ago, hey, I got to get my health issues in order. And I did that. And by doing that, eventually I figured out, oh, wait a minute. I had a really crappy diet for a good portion of my life. Thank you, sir. So this is Parque Las Americas. We're gonna come visit here one day at night, so I can show you what goes on out here, okay? A lot of fun times to be had. A lot of fun times to be had here at Parque Las Americas. It's a good spot, fun spot. But anyways, I digress. You know, I just need a colonoscopy just because I led a very unhealthy lifestyle for a good majority of my life. And things happened and I had to get it checked out. Now again, before you guys are asking or, you know, get worried, I'm fine, guys. Everything's great, thank God. You know, I'm doing good here. You know, crisis averted. But at the end of the day, still, you got to get it checked out. You got to see what the hell's going on and all that good stuff. So, you know, with that being said, like at the end of the day, you're probably wondering, well, how much is a colonoscopy? Well, I'm gonna tell you exactly how much it was. It was 4,500 pesos. All right, so 4,500 pesos, which is roughly around $225. And by the way, this place was a lot nicer than the hospital in Seattle, Harborview Medical Center, whatever the hell was. And basically almost, you know, all like medical centers that anyone can afford. Yeah. So yeah, so look, this is like a church there. Nice fancy buildings. It's very hot outside. I think this is like a school, a prep school. But see, look, all the way, you probably, I don't know if you guys can see it there, but all the way down there, there's already people selling stuff, okay? So, you know, and it's like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. But yeah, during the nighttime, this whole area just like fills up, you know, with vendors, and it's awesome. And like I said, you know, one of these nights I'm gonna bring you guys out here with me and you guys can check it out too. But anyways, man, it's very hot. Let me see, let me walk over here and get a little shade. But anywho's, so yeah, $225. And you know, let's say, you know, you gotta include the medicine, you gotta include everything. I gotta include the doctor's visit because I went to go see a doctor, whatever, colon doctor or whatever you call them. And so the colon doctor, a specialist at one of the best hospitals out here in Merida, $40, aka 800 pesos. Okay, so 800 pesos for the doctor, 4,500 for the procedure, and about maybe 1,000 pesos, probably less. Yeah, probably, but about 1,000 pesos for the medicine. 1,000 pesos, like 50 bucks. So 90 for the doctor and all the medicine, and 225. So that puts everything at like a little over 300 US dollars to get that whole thing done. All right, FYI. All right, so that's that. Other things I've had to do, you know, basically, you guys know I've had a lot of knee problems, and I have like hip problems, and I got like, you know, certain problems in that area, and it's just because of my life, you know. I played sports when I was young, but it wasn't sports, it was just like the life that I led as a chef. I was a chef for, man, I want to say almost 20 years of my life. I mean, from a very young age. Not a chef, but a cook, whatever, you know, in the kitchen. A good majority of my life, almost 20 years. So it's like it takes a toll on your body. And so with that whole situation there, I have I've had my issues with that, you know what I mean, just wear and tear on my joints, on my ligaments, and on many things like that. So yeah, I've had the in the US, I could probably only afford a doctor, if I can afford a doctor to check me out. Out here, I saw many doctors, you know, and I got checked out many times, and basically the main consensus was when I got to see like Mexican doctors, they all gave me holistic, you know, they gave me ways to fix my situation without needing surgery. Whenever I went to a doctor that had some experience in the US, or works out of the US, or travels and works in the US, or whatever, anything that has to do with the US or a more modern facility type thing, all of a sudden, by the way, you guys are probably wondering, the other two streets look kind of the same. All right, so all right, because you guys are probably wondering, oh, there's not much to see here per se, and you're right, you know, you're right. But that's also what makes it nice and quiet. And again, you see a lot of these properties are bigger, they have bigger yards, bigger everything. But anyways, as I was saying, eventually I found this doctor that is like super amazing, and he recommended what he recommended a lot of his patients that have had, you know, similar backgrounds as me. Look at this house. Wow, it's a nice. Now it seems like it's various houses. I'm not quite sure. It's just one house, and I think the owner just got here. He's like, who the fuck is that guy filling my home? But anyways, here's another doctor there. All right. So, you know, by the way, there's a lot of doctors and hospitals in this kind of area here that we're walking through from one point to the other, where we started all the way to where we're going to end it. But I digress. Long story short, every time I went to go see a doctor or a specialist or anything like that, it would cost me, look at that, there's like a nice property all the way over there, nice overgrown. Look at this, it's like some sort of apartment building. Yeah, you see, it's like never really been through here, and stores down there. Anywho's, so the whole process of that, you know, the whole process of going to each doctor's cost, the specialty doctor, you know, a more specialized doctor, like an orthopedic doctor, a colon doctor, or whatever, or, you know, whatever, dermatologist, whatever, they're going to run you somewhere between 500 to 1,000 pesos, but the average is 700 to 800 pesos per visit. And sometimes you go to a visit and the follow-up visits are free. Okay, but anywho, for a lot of you guys that have insurance or whatever, you guys know fully well that that's just the copay. You know what I mean? And so out here you don't need insurance, and if you did have insurance, it's probably going to be a lot cheaper. But I digress. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, that's another thing, you know. Sometimes I have friends that come out here and they just want like blood work, and they just want like you know, let's say they want to get like a STD test or anything like that. So blood work can run you anywhere from under $100 to under 150 bucks. So again, just depends on what you need done and what you want to get done and all this other stuff. It'll be anywhere from, like, you know, 700-800 pesos, maybe less, to around 1,000 pesos or maybe more, depending on how much work you need done and all that other stuff. So nice little neighborhood here. So yeah, like I said, I never really walked through this neighborhood, and I'm walking in the middle of the day, which is very little shade. So it's very hot, and I'm sweating very much in a very hot part of the year, late August. So, you know, that's like blood work there. You know, any kind, I mean, look, after I went to the orthopedic doctor, I realized, oh, okay. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm trying to wipe some. Hey, look, that's how hot it is. But anyways, they got music. I guess they're cleaning this house to sell it. So, but yeah, like I was saying, guys, the thing out here, more than anything else, sometimes, you know, what you realize is that, like, the medicine or the treatment itself is probably like the most expensive thing. So, like, for example, you know, with the treatment that I'm taking now, That's why I'm walking and talking again and biking and doing all that. The basic treatment that I got from the doctor was like this stuff, this like avocado oil with like some other stuff and like yada yada yada, along with like some other glucosamine stuff and all this other stuff. Anyways, long story short, most of it is natural. In fact, all of it is natural, or some sort of natural stuff. And my regular doctor offered that to me. In the US, it's not gonna happen. In the US, it'll be like, you know, you'll ask them, hey, do you think this natural medicine or natural solution is good? And they'll be like, no, it's not. In fact, it's probably just blah blah blah, blee blee blee. Here, you got to take this pharmaceutical drug. Here, no, man. Here they give you the best solution to your problem, whatever that is. And so that doctor, the last one I went to, he already saw I went and I tried everything, and he knows that surgery was not an option, because that's only going to mess me up even more and even more, especially the lifestyle that I live. So he suggested other options, which have been working amazingly, and I'm very grateful to that guy. He's freaking amazing. And yeah, you know what I mean? And so it's just things like that, you know what I mean? Like out here, you can afford to check out different doctors, get second, third, fourth, fifth opinion, get all kinds of things, and not have to worry about like some crazy elevated cost. Because, you know, it's not like I had like all these opinions done one after the other, you know. It's like when I could afford them, when I had the time, when I had the chance. And at the end of the day, you know, the solution was right under my nose the whole time. It was a solution that I knew was like the best solution. And so, you know, basically the solution was, you know, a bunch of natural medicine, and take it easy and do some more stretches and you know, things like that. And that's what I did. That's what I've been doing, and it's been working wonderfully. But the fact that, you know, even the doctors out here, you know, the whole doctor situation, doctors out here are pretty cheap. You can go to a doctor for as cheap as $2.50, you know, 50 pesos, or as expensive as, like I said, 1,000 pesos, which is like 50 bucks. And you're seeing the top of the line of the top of the line at that price. But what I'm saying is that the doctors out here, for the most part, like almost all of them, I don't want to speak for all of them, but almost all the doctors out here, it's a very different story, meaning that, you know, they don't treat you like a number, they treat you like an actual patient. You might, you know, get to the doctor, let's say your appointment might be for like 12 o'clock, you might not see the doctor till 1 o'clock, but you quickly realize that the reason you're not going to see that you're seeing the doctor late, it has nothing to do with him being overbooked, and it has nothing to do with him, you know, being whatchamacallit, like the camera stopped filming. It seemed like it got too hot to handle. There was just too much heat. Turned off the camera, and yeah, in the middle of what I was saying. Anyways, I rewinded it and I saw what I was saying, so let's get back to what I was saying. By the way, we're, you know, again, we're in a very similar, what is it, in a very familiar neighborhood. If you know this area, we're about to hit Avenida Colón. We just came down that street, all right, which is the 23rd. And we're about to head to Walmart. But anyways, as I was saying, by the way, yes, obviously you guys can see the virus has affected these buildings very much and this area very much, but hey, life goes on. As you guys can see here, other things are popping up and everything is just kind of getting back to normal one way or the other. Speaking of which, a lot of you guys asked me about that stuff too. Might as well just knock it out and talk about that for a second. Look, this is a nice little place. We gotta come visit. Look at that. All right, but onward. I got another appointment after this. I can't spend too much time there. All right, so unfortunately not today. We'll come back with the missus. But yeah, just talking about the virus for a minute. So a lot of you guys are, you know, asking me things like, oh my god, are, you know, these virus passports, are they going to be a thing? So you guys look where we are, Colón and Reforma. All right, all right, we're gonna walk that way towards the Walmart on Paseo Montejo. So a lot of you guys are like, hey, do I need to get that, do I need to, look at the traffic, see, things are getting back to normal. So do I need to get the vaccination in order to come out there or be out there? No. Do I need to get like one of those virus passports? No. Are things going to be mandated or forced? No. and I could go on and on. So you're gonna be fine out here, guys. All right, you're gonna be fine out here. At least if you're coming out here as look at this nice property out here. Anyways, but yeah, again, if you're coming out here as an expat, if you're coming out here to, you know, from a different country, and you don't have to like do certain things out here, you'll be fine. But at the end of the day, even as a Mexican, you're gonna be fine. I sincerely doubt that that is gonna be mandated in any way, shape, or form, just because of the way this country works and how things work out here for the most part. So yeah, as you guys can see, all kinds of places are popping up here, and yeah, it is what it is. So like, this place is opening up while this other place right across the street is out of business. And you know, it is what it is. Victims, right, of this horrible virus. So as like I said, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you're not gonna be forced to do anything out here, because in fact, you're not forced to do anything out here, so you're good there. And that's the thing too with the whole thing with the doctors, you know what I mean? Like, you go to doctors and you're paying for a service, and they're here to serve you, and basically that's that. So it's not like you go to a doctor, like, again, these things that are happening in the US, where you go to a doctor with whatever disease. It could be anything. You know, honestly, you know this, all right? For anyone that's experienced this, any kind of disease, and they give you a treatment, and you say, I don't want that treatment, and if they get upset, and they could actually report you, and now all of a sudden you get in trouble, and you don't get any treatment from any doctor, or you're put on a special list. And I could go on and on. Like, construction workers over here doing some construction. But yeah, guys, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of crazy shit going on. It's a lot of crazy shit going on. So, you know, a lot of you guys, like, some of you guys are just coming out here for the medical thing because you needed to see a doctor. You know, you've never seen a doctor. Like, even me, I never really seen many doctors. I've seen more doctors as I lived here than any other point in my life, and only because I can afford it. I can afford it, all right? And because even with my, it's just because I can afford it, you know, and it's more accessible, and I can go on and on. And so you know, back in whatchamacallit, in the US, you know, things are just more different than they are here. But all I'm saying is that, at least for me, now I can afford it. Now a lot of these things are more accessible to me, and I think a lot of you guys are in the same kind of boat, in the same kind of situation. And that's why you're looking to come out here. And sure, you know what I mean, it's amazing, you know, like the medical out here in Mexico is amazing. And yeah, you know, you're right. A lot of you guys are probably going to be saying like, oh, it's probably better in other places. It's you know, it's not the best. It's a third world country, and I can go on and on. By the way, you couldn't be any more wrong, you know what I mean? Out here, it's amazing. A lot of modern stuff, modern techniques, sometimes even more than what you can afford in your typical small town, small city out back home. And yeah, you know what I mean? What I was gonna say is like, yeah, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're gonna get like the best of the best of the best, you're probably gonna go to the US. You're probably gonna go to these other countries that have some of the best of the best of the best. But the reality is that, like, if you guys are watching this channel or checking this out, or interested in anything I have to say about this subject, it's mostly because you're in the same boat as me. You're not looking for the best of the best of the best. You're looking for anything. You're looking for something affordable. You're looking for, like, if you got like serious health situation, and you ain't got insurance, you ain't got disability, you ain't got no government help, you ain't got nothing, and you're in the US, and all of a sudden you're millions of dollars in debt over getting sick. Yeah, this is why you come out here. You're thinking about coming out to places like this. This is where you can get a lot more affordable, yeah, a lot more. All right, it's getting really hot, really humid. It's even starting to rain a little bit. So yeah, you know, sorry about that. Sorry about the keeps getting cut off there. But anyways, as I was saying, I was finished my thought. This thought with thoughts has more words to say. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like the reason, you know, a lot of you guys are interested in coming out to like Mexico or other, you know, again, Latin American countries, but we're talking about Mexico in this case, is because of the affordability. You know, you're just looking to get dental care. It doesn't matter, not the best, any dental care will work. Any kind of doctor care, any kind of care, period, end of story. You know, where back home you cannot afford anything. you cannot afford any kind of care, any kind of medicine, any kind of anything. In fact, a lot of you guys out there, you guys literally have to sometimes have no choice. You guys have absolutely no choice but to get your medicine from places like Mexico or Canada, and have it delivered. See, I hope that guy fixes his shoe situation there. But anywho's, you know, at the end of the day, oh, I can already see it raining. It's already falling droplets on me. But see, that's another thing too about pharmacies. You got pharmacies everywhere. Things are just way more affordable. Certain medications are definitely going to be expensive, because it's just the so nature of those medications. You know, some medications are just expensive for whatever the reason. But at the end of the day, almost all other medications, you know, like just regular medications, you can get them out here for extremely cheap. You know, like I get things like aspirin, I can get like all kinds of things, you know, you name it, for really, really cheap, really, really good, really, really cheap, you know. All right, so let's I guess they're doing some sort of construction out here, or doing some sort of work. But again, you guys know this area. I walked through here many, many times. This is Plaza America there and stuff like that. And the Hyatt, we just went through the Marriott. You know, we're by Paseo Montejo's right ahead. And you know, we're gonna be ending this already soon because, you know, again, I don't know how much battery, how much more this can hold here. But at the end of the day, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, today's walk and talk, in which we discussed you know, medicine and the price of. And I know it took me a while to get to it. You know, I got very distracted at the beginning, and I apologize for that. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for still being here. But at the end of the day, guys, it's like this is, you know, another one of those episodes in my series of cost of living stuff. And it's not just about food and rent, it's about many things. And for a lot of you guys, it's about medicine. And whether or not you have insurance is not necessarily the important part here, because again, you know, for a lot of you guys that have a lot of medical issues, you know, you guys already have a thing set up and you guys are just looking for something cheaper. I'm talking about, yeah, they have Holiday Inn here too. And anyways, but what I'm saying is, like, a lot of you guys are actually looking into, you know, like me, you know what I mean? What's like, whoa, what happens in an emergency? What happens in this? In fact, let me tell you what happens in an emergency. We're gonna be going to the area. Again, I used to live in this area, and I remember, like, the first year I moved here, the first Christmas, I was by myself, and it was like a couple days before Christmas, but regardless, Christmas, you know, nothing open, everything's closed, it's very, you know, and all of a sudden, by mistake, I locked myself out of my house, and I had to break into my own house, and I literally got like 8 stitches or more on this arm, and it was bleeding. I mean, it was a mess. I was a mess. I mean, more of a mess than I usually am, but my God, you know what I mean? My paw, huge gash, huge situation, and I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do, yada yada yada. I could go on, and long story short, I ended up going to one of the best hospitals in Merida, which is right by here, because again, I used to live right by here. So I literally walked out here, and I was so broke. I was the only reason I didn't go to the hospital immediately, let me see if I can cross here. The only reason I didn't go to the doctor immediately was because I was just got here, and I'm already so used to, in the US, you're so broke you can't afford any medical care. And I saw what happened to me. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be very expensive, and I definitely don't have the money. And I decided to call the hospital. The hospital's right behind there. Walmart's there, and it's over there. In fact, let's go through here. Anyways, so the hospital's back there, like literally right back there, and the Walmart's right there. So it's really easy to find. This is Paseo Montejo, all right? For anyone who doesn't know, we're on Paseo Montejo. I've been here a million times, a million videos through here. Anyways, I digress. What I'm saying is that, like, you know, I basically called the hospital, told them my situation, asked for a price. They gave me a price. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I got a price quoted to me. And they basically told me, hey, look, you got this many hours before you cannot get stitches. So what are you gonna do? And I was like, okay, I'll be there. Anyways, what was the price? 800 pesos. 800, literally. So 40 bucks. As soon as they told me that, yeah, 40 bucks was 40 bucks. Don't get me wrong. It was like, for me, it was very difficult. Because I mean, it was 40 bucks, and that was a lot of money. Sorry about that. Got really interrupted again. But anywho's, as I was saying, it was 40 bucks, and that 40 bucks was a lot of freaking money to me back then. But again, thank God that it was only 40 bucks, not 400 bucks, not 4,000, but 40 bucks. So 800 pesos, okay? And that was something that, you know, I could afford. Trying to get across the street here. So yeah, let me point it forward here. Got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. We got this. All right. So yeah, like I said, you know what I mean? By the way, all this is like brand new construction, you know, brand new enhancements to this whole area out here. All these bike lanes, all this stuff. I talk about it a lot on my channel, so you guys can check all that out if you guys are interested in coming out here to this area. But just to end this episode, as we usually end it here once we get to Walmart, is that it's affordable. And oh, by the way, I was in and out. Like, I went in there with my messed up broken paw, and they fixed me up in a few hours, and the whole thing again was like 40 bucks, 800 pesos. And that was my first ever experience with anything out here, and I realized, oh wow, you know what I mean, this is gonna be fine. We're gonna be totally fine out here. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode as we walked all the way out here to the Big W, and we're just hanging out here and get a few supplies. Actually, I was gonna do some groceries. I don't got time for that. I think I'm just gonna end up getting some coffee, bare necessities, and head back home so I can get back to my another appointment I got. So guys, you already know what to do. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit that bell icon, but more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and I'll hope to see you on the next one. In fact, if you're curious, check out all the other episodes I already have on my channel where I talk and walk through this area about all kinds of things and all kinds of subjects. So all right guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.